Hello YouTube, this is Bootie, and welcome back to Eternal Ring. This is part 4. Now, before we continue, I just want to clarify, that time of win that you see at the top right, apparently doesn't actually do anything. So, I guess it's just there to be fancy or some shit. Because apparently the only thing that the time of day actually impacts is accessibility to certain NPCs. Now, anyways, we're gonna be getting on this portal. You just step on it, you don't have to press a button. And now we are in the Forgotten Dais. As you can see right there, the Forgotten Dais. And for those who don't know, a dais is basically an altar. Or like a shrine, something along those lines. And we are just in this weird extra-dimensional bullshit. I'm really not sure where exactly in the world this is, because it seems to be completely separate from the rest of the island. Like, you got this eternal blackness. There's no roof or anything. Or maybe the implication is that this place is supposed to be so huge that we can't see the bottom. And they just didn't really render it properly. Who the fuck knows? And it'll get really confusing later on, because we will be coming back here late game. Anyways, this is where you're going to be working on your rings, and you will see these kind of portals scattered all over the area. And they always take you to this same room, this altar. We got these crystals for all the different kind of elements, earth, fire, wind, whatnot. Then we got this character right here, who kind of looks like a gesture. Very interesting design. This weird fucking cane. It's kind of shaped like an axe. Interesting. It looks like it has a gem inside of that. That's probably how it channels his energy and whatnot. Oh, excuse me, it's not a he, is it? This is a woman, apparently. And I only figured that out because I saw it in a fucking walkthrough. Just listen.
I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
That sounds like a man. Am I insane here?
Thou, who seek the long-forgotten power of magic.
Alright.
This is the vessel of knowledge and strength. Submit to me the gems, and I shall bestow upon thee a ring of great power.
So I guess this is just where all the Soltians did their business, in this same altar. That would explain why the portals are set up everywhere. This is pretty badass. And, yeah, our character isn't really questioning who this is, or what the fuck is going on. And apparently we're trapped inside of... See, like, watch what happens. Oh, that actually stays up. Huh. Because that just formed around us while this thing was coming up. You'd think it was supposed to, like, trap us in a sphere while we were doing this, but apparently not. And I gotta switch that out to my small sword, the dagger. Or knife, rather.
I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients. Thou, submit to me the gems, and I shall bestow upon thee a ring of great power.
Alright, now there are a couple different kinds of rings. We've got attribution rings, which are just to basically buff your stats. In the guide, and I think a lot of people in general like to call them stone rings, which I fucking hate personally because it gets incredibly confusing, because it's like, what do you mean stone? Are you talking about fucking earth rings? Because that kind of sounds like a stone ring. And you can replace rings, but we are not getting rid of Fireball. We will actually need it throughout the game. Ring of Magic. Let's go. Now, first things first. We can't actually do a whole lot in terms of ring creation. Unless we get some lucky RNG, I guess. But, this is how it works. You are supposed to generally use the same kinds of rings. And they're split up. Of course, you see the different kinds of elements. That's earth, wind, water, and then you've got fire, which is glowing gem in this case. And you'll get a lot of differently leveled gems throughout the game, and there are tons of enemies that just drop high level gems, so you can do this pretty much forever. And as I stated before, I believe in the last part, gems are used as currency as well as this shit. So, how it works is, it adds up the number of levels between all the gems that you're using. So, we got 1 and 1, level 1, therefore it's going to be 2. And there are certain rings in the game that you can get for certain elements that require a certain sum of the total number of levels. And it's split up between low spells and high spells. And that is where it can get really confusing, at least for me personally. As a kid, I never fucking understood how this worked. I just did it randomly and hoped it worked. Well, before I do that... yeah, fuck it, let's go.
I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
Because I want to show this amazing animation. And you can't trigger any more dialogue until, like, super late game when it's scripted as fuck. So this isn't really much of a character. But he's like the last surviving member of these magicians that create rings and whatnot. I believe he's the same kind of person that helped create the Eternal Ring, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure if he's... I think he's actually part of the same group that specifically made the ring, or maybe he's just the same kind of. That makes sense. But yeah, we've got healing water, which is nice, good shit. And now... now I have to make a decision. I guess I will just get... wind
I
cover.
shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
And you can get all kinds of different kinds of magic rings. Some of them, like, throw out projectiles or AoE attacks. And they all work in different ways. You got Fireball, which is straightforward. And then you get some abilities that are projectiles, but they only attack in, like, a line. Like, from the ground, you can't shoot them at the air or whatever. Now, back to, like, low spells and high spells. It's very confusing because on the walkthrough, I'll actually link the walkthrough in the description, for clarity's sake. Maybe you guys can make more sense of it than I did. Because I've done all kinds of reading into it and trying to just analyze what the fuck it's talking about. It lists high-level rings and low-level rings by, like, level 1, level 2, level 3 spells. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's super unclear how exactly you trigger certain rings if they're both specifically level 1. Now, these are attribution rings. These only buff your stats, as I stated, and they work kind of the same way. Where it just adds up the levels between all the different kinds of gems, and this is a lot easier. This is a very cheap way to use your rings in effective ways. Now I have to make a decision of what abilities do I want to buff. I think I will just create
I shall
a fire
pass
ring.
down the knowledge of the ancients.
Because we're going to be using fire ring throughout the game. There are certain quote-unquote puzzles you need to solve with the fire ability. Well, I don't know if they're really puzzles, but there are certain things you can only access by using the fire abilities. And now our fire abilities will be stronger. It should be noted that I got a healing spell earlier, the healing water. It does scale a little bit with your water gems. Any, you know, water ability buffing rings. It's not an amazing effect, honestly. Now I might as well create, yeah, let's get a feather gem, fuck it.
I shall pass down the knowledge of the ancients.
Got some orange soda here. Just a few things to get us started. And if I had another ring of magic, I would actually create a silence ring, because that sounds pretty useful. There are still a lot of spells that I have yet to even touch. Because usually when I do a playthrough on my own, I like to just do the same thing as a kid. And I've only played this game once as an adult, a few weeks ago. Now you go over here to Magic Ring. We're gonna get Wind Cutter right here. And then we're gonna add this. And I'm not sure why it does that. You can see it added up the number with our base stats there. Which kind of implies that, you know, across the board, if you use certain kinds of spells on your magic ring slot, it makes all the other abilities stronger. Because, you know, the base value is higher. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why it's designed like that. Maybe it actually does do it, but that would be really weird. As you can see, it's not a significant buff. I should actually test that at one point, just to make sure. And let's switch out our weapon for the small sword. There you go, we missed you, buddy. We missed you so. And before I go, I might as well save right now, right? When we get higher level rings, we can go into a little bit more detail about how exactly it works. It should be mentioned that when you're creating rings, you got the two sides on the left and the right. If you do use different kinds of gems, the result will be random. And there are a few things you can actually kind of cheat in with RNG. If you, like, save, just in case you fuck it up. But at this point, it's kind of more important that we save up gems for items. Now, this is the worshipping area. We got these amazing lizard creatures. They throw out that electric ability, and they also attack. Sometimes. They're very easy to avoid. And I should show off my abilities. That is Wind Cutter. Now, for those of you who have played Kingsfield, there's an ability, at least in Kingsfield 3, that looks very similar to this, and it does deal a lot of damage to these guys. And a lot of the time, early game is just going to be level 1 drops. We will be going up that other side of the bridge, it's been cut off. Gotta cover everything. You got these weird cavemen ogre things. Ow. Dodging abilities is kind of weird, because you gotta like get in to trigger it, and you gotta duck at like the last second. This might actually be way better than the fire abilities. And we got a flame gem, which is, yeah, that's our first level 2 ring. We got a rat's tail. Take a look at that. That's just to cure silence, something that will not be significant anytime soon. And we've got this weird path right here. I might as well address it now. I really am not sure what the point of this is. Because as far as I know, this doesn't do anything. You got this mysterious staircase over here. And also, I should bring it up now. I said earlier how we're kind of the center of the world. You can kind of see it with the skybox, but it's really fucking obvious here in this area because of the water. This is where I really started to notice it. So, like, you see this center with the whirlpool or whatever the fuck's going on down here? It's clearly moving based on our position. So, it's literally like right under our character model, and we can't see it. Our camera won't let us see it anyways. And there's a lot of just little islands in this area that you can't even access. Got the path right over there. But there's no, like, gems or whatever, so there's no apparent reason to even go over there. And I'm kind of tempted to drop down here, because I've never actually been on this particular island, but it makes me nervous. It doesn't look like there's anything... Yeah, fuck it, let's be adventurous. It actually looks like there's a way up anyways. Okay, yeah, there's nothing over here. You'd think there would be at least, like, a healing item. Oh, wait! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Big secret item found. So, yeah, this is very clearly designed this way. Alright, alright. I actually found a new path that I didn't know even existed. Just because I didn't go over there. And again, you can see that our mana is regenerating on every kill. And that's a watery gem. Let me double check. Yeah, that's level 1. Excuse me. Alright. Now, before we run into this guy, or I guess we already triggered him, we do have Fireball, Wind Cutter, Healing Water at the top right that you can see. Unfortunately, there's not like a hotkey for it, so you just have to kind of do this and just get good at spamming it and timing it out decently, which is really fucking annoying in quick fights. And wow, he just gave up. What a pussy. And there you can see a bit of our healing ability. We do get a better healing ring with certain gems. And wow, the volume got really fucking low suddenly. It's kind of weird. Might as well top ourselves off. You got these butterfly enemies, which are kind of... I honestly don't really like fighting these guys. They're kind of weird and annoying. Because of that, well, usually what happens is they will basically dodge your attack. It's incredibly infuriating. So, like, let me try with Fireball. Okay, well, the trick is that they're not supposed to be attacking you. They do that pollen attack, which will poison you. Let me try to demonstrate it here. See, he kind of just dodges it. And I think if I use Wind Cutter... Oh, the hitbox is actually too wide. And I probably shouldn't have killed him there, because now he dropped an item I can't fucking access. But whatever, that's how I roll, baby! That's how I roll. Let me try to boost the volume. Alright, so hopefully that's not too much louder. But the idea with those guys is you're supposed to attack them with usually a magic spell as they are doing their poison attack, and that's the only thing they can do. And poison in this game, well, I guess it's not really that bad. Like, the DPS is not that intense, but it's still pretty annoying. Now, I might as well go down here, because we got this magic crystal. And unfortunately, going over here forces us to redo the entire area, but it's not a large area. So, whatever. You can see the beginning right there. And as you can see, the range on this is actually really, really low. And those guys are just super predictable with their attacks. Got another magic crystal right here. You can tell this is where they really start to expect you to use your spells. Alright, we are back here. And we've got this stranger here again. Just slowly walking his ass over here.
It looks like you've opened the water gate.
This is our first proper meeting of him.
This place is a mess. Thanks to the gate being opened, you moved it, just as I'd thought. Then you should have been able to use that ring as well.
Indeed.
I have another ring. It's useless to me. Take it with you. It has magic energy that will protect you from the poison. Use it to make it through the valley just ahead. There are people from the mainland beyond the valley. Those people should be able to offer you help. Treat them with much respect. You certainly could use a better weapon. What? Not again.
Oh, you fucking soulless. There goes Soulless again with his fucking temper tantrums.
It's gone. But soon, I won't be so lucky. Listen, the valley isn't very safe, but you can use the rings to aid you through your journey. Don't go past the bridge. That forest is too dangerous for you right now. We'll meet again, soon. Be safe until then. Eternal Ring. That's the name of the eternal power you're seeking. Many things sleep on this island. Magical power, demons, dragons, and even the secret of your past. It isn't just a coincidence that you've come to this island. Soon you will understand.
I don't really get why he doesn't just tell us. Like, yo, what's up, dude? Remember me?
Eternal Ring. That's the name of the eternal It isn't just a coincidence that you...
Okay. And... wait, you can actually go back here? What the fuck? What? Huh. Because last time I played this, I could not go past him. Because his big-ass body was in the way. Weird. And there's the invisible wall, though. Can I actually fire through here? Yep. But, yeah. There's not actually anything back here, unfortunately. Which was really annoying when I came back here a while ago, in my last playthrough. You see his weird mummy hands. I think those are supposed to be bandages on him. Or maybe that's actually supposed to be his skin. Yeah, I think it's more likely that it's part of his new skin. He's turning into like a weird stone monster. Because he is turning a little bit. You can't really see it through his cloth. I really do like this character though. He's cool. He doesn't do that much though. He kind of reminds me of the stranger, the merchant from RE4. Now there is one thing he said. He said that he doesn't need the ring he just gave us anymore. Which I guess makes sense, you know, kind of. Because if you're turning into a monster, apparently you're completely immortal to poison. Even though you can actually get enemies killed with poison in this game. Or maybe it's just the base damage of the spell with the poison attached to it. Anyways. Actually, we're not gonna need the fireball, so we might as well get this. And I can't see it unless I take it off, which is kind of annoying. But the description says, it creates protective wall to protect caster from sickness. That wording could be a little bit better written, but that's okay. Watch this, using the same word in the same sentence? Fuck you. Might as well do that. You got plenty of magic stones to burn, bruh. And that's it. It's another zone. We got this bridge here that we can't get to.